जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna and welcome back. Thank you for joining. Today we are discussing verse number 45 of chapter number 2 from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And in the previous verse, Krishna explains Arjuna that in the mind of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence. So for sense enjoyment, the word which is used is bhoga, and material opulence is aishwarya. So somebody who is attached to bhoga and aishwarya, their consciousness is abducted. So taya aparita chetasa. So their consciousness is abducted. And when their consciousness is abducted, then the one-pointed intelligence, vyasatmika buddhir, is not possible for them. And so there cannot be resolute in determination for samadhi or devotional service to the Supreme Lord. That doesn't take place. So somebody who is attached to bhoga and aishwarya, they are actually following Vedas, but they are following the Karma Kanda section of Vedas. So in the next verse, Krishna is saying that though Vedas has this Karma Kanda section which actually helps these people for regulated sense gratification. So Karma Kanda means regulated sense gratification. You do sense gratification under the instructions of or by following the Vedas. So therefore Krishna in today's verse is going to tell Arjuna that one has to rise above this Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. So that's therefore verse number 45. Chapter number 2, verse 45. Krishna says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryogekshema Atmavan. The translation is, the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all the dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So let's read or go through the Sanskrit words. So first word is Traigunya. So this is first time this guna is mentioned by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Trai means three, guna means the qualities. So three gunas or three modes. Vishaya Veda means these are the subject matter of the Vedas. So then Krishna is saying Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna, means you rise above or go beyond these three modes of material nature. And then Krishna also says Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto. So you should rise above and situate yourself above the dualities that exist in the material world. So Dvandvo is the duality. So Nirdvandvo means you rise above the dualities. And then Nitya Sattva. So Sattva over here, Sattva means generally goodness. But here Sattva means existence. So Krishna is saying that you situate yourself or be situated in Nitya Sattva. So basically Nitya Sattva over here indicating the spiritual world. So Sto means situate yourself. And then the final last line is Niryogakshemam Atmavan. So Niryogakshemam means without any concern for yoga and shema. And then you become Atmavan. So what does this mean? So yoga and shema, Srila Prabhupada translates as gain and safety or protection. So gain means further profit, and protection over here means preservation. So what we have, we keep it safely. And then what you should do, you become Atmavan. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna to become Atmavan. So we have heard this word Dhanwan. So somebody who has wealth, that is Dhanwan, he possessor of wealth. Vidyavan means possessor of Vidya. So here Atmavan means one who is possessor of the soul. So how somebody can be possessor of the soul? We are actually soul. So how can we become possessor of the soul? So it actually means that we become spiritually aware. We are all Atmas, but right now we are acting on the platform of body, and we are not acting on spiritual consciousness level. So we are not also acting on the spiritual platform or as a Atma. So though we are Atma, but we are not acting as Atmavan. When we become spiritually aware and when we understand about our spiritual reality, then we become Atmavan. And what is the requirement for that, becoming Atmavan? That means you have to go beyond the three modes of material nature. So three modes of material nature is Traigunya. So these three modes are keeping us in this material existence. And we have to go beyond the three modes. So everything that exists in this world can be categorized in three modes. And later on, in the later chapter of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14 onwards, we'll see particularly chapter 14. And, later on also Krishna discusses these three modes in lot of details. In fact, there are like almost 3 chapters which is talking about these three modes. So everything we see around us is actually this coming under these three modes. And these three modes are mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So here Krishna is talking to Arjuna, and Arjuna is well aware of these three modes. So that's why he just introduces this term. But for our understanding, we just keep in mind that everything we see around us can be categorized in this three modes, like food in three modes, clothes in three modes, person in three modes, happiness in three modes, work in three modes. So everything can be categorized into these three modes, and this is the specialty of Vedas. This is not available, or this information is not available in any other scriptures. You can only find this discussion about the three modes in Vedic literature. Right. So how will that happen? So how will we go beyond the three modes? So that happens by understanding the spiritual knowledge, by the knowledge which Krishna is giving to Arjuna, and he is giving to Arjuna, but he is also giving it to us. And when we practice particularly the karma yoga sections which is described here, then that helps us to go beyond the three modes very easily. So from 2.38 to 2.46, Krishna is contrasting the karma yoga with the karma kanda, and he is telling Arjuna that Arjuna, don't worry about profit or loss, gain or loss, those kind of things, but stay focused and be situated in spiritual platform. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada has to discuss in the purport. So this picture indicates that anything below this cloud is within the three modes, and Krishna is saying that go beyond these three modes. So though this Vedas explains karma kanda, and it gives the method or regulated method of sense enjoyment, but Krishna over here is taking Arjuna to one step forward. He's saying you have to rise above the three modes. So you just don't get stuck in the three modes, because if you are stuck within the three modes, what happens is you are stuck within the cycle of birth and death. So if you want to go or break this cycle of birth and death and progress towards or transcend toward liberation, then you have to avoid these three modes and situate yourself in transcendence. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada first talks about what is material activities all about. All material activities involve action and reaction in the three modes of material nature. So these three modes of material nature also acts under the direction of Krishna, because Krishna says, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharachalam. Everything which is going on in the material world is going on under the direction of the Lord. And these are bound by these three modes, or for all categorized in these three modes. And they are meant for fruitive results. Means you do some action, you are expecting some results, some good results, And when we do that kind of action, and when we are trying to enjoy those results, what happens? Which causes bondage in the material world. So that binds us. So anything which we are trying to enjoy in this material world, that will bind us. Something good we do, and they want to enjoy the result of that something good, then we are bound. So we have to take another birth to enjoy that result. So the next point Prabhupada is talking about is the subject matter of the Vedas. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to the position of transcendental plane. So this is the path Veda is taking. So Veda is not just like 4 Vedas, but there are Upanishads, there are Upavedas, there are Brahmanakas, Aranyakas, there are so many things in Vedas. But the purpose of Veda is not to keep the person in the material world. The purpose of Veda is to gradually take the soul from whatever position the soul is towards transcendental plane. So that is the subject matters. That's why there are so many different subject matters there in the Vedas. So let's read that, and then we can go into this slide and understand more. So Lord Krishna's advice. Arjuna, as a student and a friend of Lord, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jigyasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. So here we see in the presentation over here, we see that the material activities, these are having action and reaction. All these actions and reactions are based on these three modes: Sattva Gun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. Sattva Gun means goodness, and Rajogun means passion, and Tamogun means ignorance. So these are the three modes. And material activities is done for sense gratification, means you are expecting result and you want to enjoy those results. And then Vedas deal with fruitive activities, so that is Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. But the original purpose of the Vedas is to gradually elevate from material platform to transcendental platform. And in the transcendental platform, that information about the transcendental platform is given in the Vedanta. And Vedanta begins with Brahma Jigyasa. So what is Brahma Jigyasa? For the suffering of the living entity, Lord present the information in the Vedas, the process to achieve liberation from cycle of birth and death. So this is the content of the Vedanta philosophy, and the Upanishads also, right? So Upanishad also talks about transcendence, or it talks about transcendental platform. So in the transcendental platform, it is transcending. When we use the word transcending, so transcending what? So the understanding is transcending the three modes of material nature. So that is transcendental. So what is transcendental means? Again, it is beyond the three modes, and one wants to get out of the cycle of birth and death. So that is transcendental position. And that is fully dependent on the will of the Lord. So this is explained later. So let's see. So the beginning is Brahma Jigyasa. So Brahma Jigyasa means knowledge, knowing about self. Who am I? Why I am stuck here? All those things. So asking questions, or questions on the supreme transcendence. position of all the living entities. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. And we all have experience of all this, how we are struggling hard in this world. The purpose of the Veda for them, so those who are suffering in this world, for them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave Vedic wisdom, advising how to live and get rid of material entanglement. So Vedas also give information about how to live in this world, and how to enjoy in this world, and also gives information about how to get out of the cycle of birth and death, or cycle of material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapters, are finished, then the chance of spiritual realization is offered in the form of Upanishads, which are part of Vedas, as Bhagavad Gita is a part of fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads marks the beginning of transcendental life. So this is the information given by Prabhupada, that Upanishad begins the transcendental life. So before that is all Karma Kanda, where some person is trying to enjoy through their regulated way. So they also enjoy, but also they are following the Vedas. So there is a gradual elevation. So they are not enjoying whimsically. They are enjoying by following the Vedas. So that's why when you enjoy following the Vedas, then you can go to the heavenly planet. Because Veda is giving some procedure to go to the heavenly planet, and you follow those procedures, you follow those rituals, and you perform austerities. So therefore, at the end of the life, then the person is transferred to heavenly planet for more enjoyment. But in the underlying factor is they want to enjoy. Tolerate dualities. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that as long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to tolerate and face the duality, such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities becomes free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. So we all have this anxiety, how much am I going to gain, how much am I going to lose, so this anxiety and hankering, these are the characteristics of somebody in the material world. So these are dualities. So the dualities we have discussed in long terms. We have discussed in previous verses of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is explaining that right in the beginning about the dualities in existing in the material world. So one has to tolerate. These things are going to be there, right? Matra sparsastu kaunteya, Krishna is saying in verse number 14 of Bhagavad Gita, that tolerate all these dualities. And one who tolerates these dualities, then he becomes eligible for liberation. That is verse number 15 of chapter number 2. So this has been discussed in details. That's why Prabhupada is just giving hint over here, and he's saying that Krishna is requesting Arjuna to tolerate these dualities. This will be there, this kind of dualities will be there. It's a part and parcel of the material world. So one need to tolerate this. Then how to achieve the transcendental position? So Prabhupada says this transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Lord. So when we depend on the Lord, then it is very easy to achieve this transcendental position. Otherwise it is very difficult when we are trying to do things on our own. So with this, the discussion in the purport is over, and it has been put in a PowerPoint form for you to study. And in the next verse, Krishna will conclude this current topic of contrasting between Karma Kanda and Karma Yoga by giving an example from Vedic cultural situation of wells and rivers. So we'll discuss that in the next session. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.